It's always a good thing when the Spirit moves. Let me tell you that. And I will always encourage you to always obey the voice of the Lord. Always be in tune to hearing what the Lord is saying and act on it. Right. So I was in the middle. I was in the middle of thinking of things. I was in the middle of thinking of things, and thinking of plans. And it's ironic. I was in the middle of thinking of plans, freaking dressed and ready to go, all this stuff. And something I love this chapter. It's Isaiah 30. And this first portion, the first two verses stuck out to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. And so I'm gonna read it out. And it says Isaiah 30 verses 1 and 2. It says, stubborn children, declares the Lord, who carry out a plan, but not mine, and who make an alliance, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, who set out to go down to Egypt without asking for my direction. I sat, and then a song came on, and it's called All of a Sudden, and I've been loving that song because it's how the Lord works. It'll just come when you least expect it for a lot of things. He'll just come when you least expect it, but many things, he'll enact many things to happen when you least expect it. So I was sitting there thinking I just had to repent. I had to pray. I had to worship. I had to just sit in his presence, because that was real for me. That was real for me. And so I wrote something out, just what I was thinking. And I was like, we must consistently be in a dependent place on God. The moment we start to think we know the way, when we get lost, well, hold up. Okay, first of all, we must continue to be in a dependent state on God. So it's like, if we're wondering about something, or we're doing this and that, but we're not consulting God in whatever we're doing, we can easily make the mistake of leaning on our own understanding and just thinking we know the way, and get lost. Simple as that. It makes you make mistakes. It makes you fall into things you shouldn't fall into. Like verse 1, it's like, who carry out a plan, but not mine. I see it. There's no consultation with God. There's just, I'm going to go and do this, and that's it. There's no verse 2, without asking for my direction. Oh my goodness. I said we must always include God and seek his approval, his guidance, and his direction. Those three things: his approval, his guidance, and his direction. That's how we know that something is from the Lord, is when we first go to him for it all. Not on what we know or what we want to do. We cry out to him and we repent for wanting to do something. But it's not the art of, oh, okay, I did this bad thing. It's not the fact that I want to do something. It's the fact that I was going to do it, or the fact that I was going to go out without seeking God. Without just making a plan, without including him. I think of it as like you're throwing this huge party, and then you're just shutting the door on God and saying, "Nope, you can't come in." How convicting! How horrible! To say, "Okay, God, yeah, I'm not going to include." That's like, imagine being in a group project. Imagine being in a group project and you're singled out. You don't get no say. You don't get no input. You can't bring any of your ideas. That's what it feels like to do something without consulting God, to carry out a plan that's not his. And his way is the ultimate way. He can make you get an A on the project, but instead we exclude him out and say, "No, we can do this," without asking for his direction. Oh my goodness. Verse 2, without asking for his direction. If we wholeheartedly trust in God with everything, We can have confidence in going to him and asking for his direction, knowing he won't lead us astray. Knowing he will tell us the right things to do. That is full trust in him. That is saying, okay, hey God, you know exactly what's going to happen. Can you give me some input on this project, on this situation? Give me some input, Lord. Lead me, guide me. Just seeking his instruction, seeking his input, bringing him into the conversation. That's the least we can do. Choices that make plans without God and don't ask for his direction only lead to one thing, and it's verse 2. And it's the end of verse 1, that they may add sin to sin. Because his spirit isn't in it. You haven't consulted with him or made ways to let his spirit move. You may be able to still go do whatever you had plans, but you would be doing it wrongly if God wasn't in the equation. Maybe he gives you an idea to make it more spiritual, or to add some spirituality into it, right? But instead, he's excluded from the group project. This is also disobedience. But instead, here's what we can do. We can listen to his voice, for he will speak to us when we seek him out. Whether it's in his word, whether it's in prayer, whether it's in worshiping in his music, all three of those things are amazing at once. And it's a daily practice to be spirit-led, listening to his voice, especially not ignoring it. That's disobedience too. To end it off, I like to put it like this, Colossians 1:17. For he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Trying to do things without including God in it is like trying to build something and not including the glue. Because only God can hold it together. But instead, when we include the very piece we need to hold something together to make it right, in the end, it will fall apart. So I encourage you, today, tomorrow, whatever time, if you watch this, always seek God and let him speak into you. Thank you for watching.